Ren clutched the steering wheel, his knuckles white. Beside him, Aiko stared into the suffocating darkness, pressing in on the car. In the back, their children, Taro and Mika, were unusually quiet. They were on their way to Kurokame, a hidden mountain village, a place Ren's family had spoken of in hushed, almost fearful tones. The forest around them was a living entity, its ancient trees forming a dense, black canopy that choked the moonlight. The air grew heavy, thick with the scent of damp earth and something else. Something faintly metallic and unsettling. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig, felt like a warning. The GPS had died miles back, leaving them to follow a bare-leathered dirt track that seemed to pull them deeper into the mountainous embrace. It felt less like a journey and more like a surrender. After what felt like an eternity, the trees finally thinned, revealing the silhouette of a village slumped against the mountainside Kurokame. The name meant black hair, but under the bruised twilight sky, it looked more like black heart. The houses leaned against each other as if for support, their wooden frames warped and gray. A profound, unnatural silence hung over the place. As they drove slowly down the main path, they saw them. Villagers standing in doorways, by windows, their faces turned towards the car. But their eyes were hollow, vacant pits that seemed to follow them without truly seeing. An old woman, her face a mask of wrinkles, stepped forward as Ren parked. She hobbled to his window, her voice a dry rasp like leaves skittering across stone. "You should not be here," she whispered, her gaze flicking nervously towards the setting sun. "No one should be here after sunset. Leave. Leave before the mountain claims you." But the road back was gone, swallowed by the forest, and the nearest town was hours away. They had no choice but to stay. The house they were given was at the edge of the village, isolated and cold. As night fell, the silence they'd first noticed was replaced by something far more sinister. Whispers, faint, sibilant sounds that seemed to crawl from the very walls of the house, slithering through the cracks in the floorboards. Aiko held the children close, trying to hum a lullaby, but her voice trembled. Little Mika, her eyes wide with a fear far beyond her years, tugged on Ren's sleeve. "Daddy," she murmured. "The faceless people are watching from the window." Ren's blood ran cold. He peered outside, but saw only inky blackness. The next morning, his heart nearly stopped. In the soft dirt around the house, there was a perfect circle of fresh footprints. Small, childlike footprints, and they were all facing inwards, towards the house. It was as if something had stood outside all night, just watching them, waiting. Driven by a growing dread, Ren left Aiko and the children locked inside and ventured into the village. The streets were empty, the villagers gone as if they'd never been there. He felt an inexplicable pull towards a dilapidated shrine at the highest point of the village, half swallowed by gnarled tree roots. Inside, the air was stale and thick with the smell of decay and old blood. The walls were covered in crude, twisted drawings. They depicted a monstrous, shadowy figure with long, spindly limbs and a gaping maw. In drawing after drawing, the creature was shown tormenting villagers, feeding on their terror. And then he saw a detailed family tree etched into the main altar. His family name was there. He finally understood. This wasn't a village, it was a cage. A farm. For generations, this entity, this demon of the mountain, had lured specific bloodlines here, feeding on their fear, their very essence, until nothing was left. They were its harvest. And now, it was his family's turn. He raced back to the house, his mind screaming, but he was too late. The front door was wide open, swinging gently in the wind. Aiko was on the floor, weeping, clutching a small, splintered object. Taro's wooden, practice sword snapped in two. It took him, she sobbed, her words incoherent. A shadow. It just pulled him away. Ren didn't hesitate. He grabbed a heavy iron poker from the fireplace and plunged into the forest, screaming his son's name. The woods mocked him, twisting his voice and throwing it back at him. Then, he heard it. A child's laughter, echoing through the trees. Taro's laughter. "Daddy, are you playing hide and seek?" The voice was his son's, but it was hollow, layered with a cruel, ancient malice. A towering shadow detached itself from the trees, its form shifting and coalescing. Ren swung the poker wildly, a desperate, frantic dance against the darkness. The demon just laughed, a sound that cracked the very air around him, a sound filled with the captured voices of countless lost souls. He was thrown back, landing hard at the edge of the village. The creature loomed over him, savoring his terror, Aod failing. His son was gone, and they were next. Just as the darkness began to descend, a small figure stepped between them. It was Mika. Her face was strangely calm, her expression serene. She looked at the monstrous shadow, not with fear, but with a quiet, heartbreaking understanding. "You want a promise?" she said, her small voice ringing with impossible authority. "You feed on our line. You need our blood to keep your bond to this place." She held out her tiny hand. "I will make a new oath. Take me, my life, my blood, for theirs. Let him go." Before Ren or Aiko could even scream, Mika began to dissolve. She didn't fade. She unraveled, turning into a shimmering mist of red and gold that flowed towards the creature. The demon recoiled, then seemed to drink her in. As the last wisp of his daughter vanished, a light flickered in one of the village houses. Then another, and another. The empty windows of Kurakami suddenly glowed with a warm, inviting light, as if the village itself was finally waking from a long, terrible nightmare. The path out of the forest was clear. Years have passed. Ren wanders now, a hollow man haunted by the echoes of laughter and the memory of a sacrifice he can never repay. He searches for answers in forgotten towns and dusty books, but finds only more questions. Aiko is gone, lost to a grief that consumed her not long after they escaped. He is alone, the last of his line. But sometimes, on lonely mountain roads late at night, travelers speak of a strange sight. They see a small, solitary girl standing by the roadside, her face calm and her eyes ancient. She waits patiently, as if for a ride. She is waiting for her father to finally come home. But Ren can never go back. He can only wander, forever pursued by the ghost of a little girl who gave everything so that he could live. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tales from the shadows.